Welcome to Drop the Clutch podcast.
Hey everybody, this is welcome back to Drop the Clutch. This is season 2, episode 9 of Drop the Clutch. Today we're going to be going back over the SoN at the weekend and another historic win for Team GB. How's that, eh?
I reckon they should do the SoN at Manchester every time.
They'd get boring then because we'd win every year.
And better than the Poles winning.
That's true. But yeah. It was a good week all round despite the weather.
You know, even with the weather though, the racing and the tracks are phenomenal. I cannot compliment Andy Meredith and his crew enough, if you know what I mean. You know, the amount of material they removed and replaced and jigged around and yeah,
definitely.
He's not known as the Track Jedi for no reason, is it?
True. Could use his expertise at Birmingham sometimes. No, scratch that all the time because they don't seem to know what they're doing half the time. But we'll save that for another episode, shall we?
Yes, absolutely. Let's focus on the SoN.
I thought it's not a rummy bashing episode tonight. It's a SoN review.
So Frankie's usually got all the background info up, but I can pull some stuff up.
Yeah,
surely we'll be able to get his scorecards off WhatsApp.
Yeah, got WhatsApp.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, as you know, I was there on Friday as well for the under-21s, and I was seen on Discovery Plus apparently as well. So, but yeah, I think Friday was a bit because obviously the track was slick, wasn't it? And really wet, and it was a bit, you know what I mean. But it was good to see, you know, the youngsters, you know, obviously what they can do and everything. But I'll tell you that Hellstrom Bangs. I mean,
he's some rider, isn't he?
He's. I was chatting to some fans who was sat next to me. And I says, I reckon if he carries on the way he's going in a few years, you know, it wouldn't surprise me. If he's for the GPs in the few years, and obviously not now, but like the way he's going.
Give him 2 or 3 years.
Because he's flipping, you know. I mean, the first time I saw him was in 21. You know, when after Thorsell and was it Pontus Aspergen got injured, and then he did it all on his own for Sweden, and he was really trying when he rode. Remember?
Yeah,
I think he was 17 then.
Yeah,
in 21. So
it's something like that, wasn't it?
If that's right. I still remember his pass on Magic Janoski the second day.
But he's still riding in the under-21, so he might have been 16.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because he was. I looked at it because I thought somebody in the UK would sign him, but it didn't happen, did it?
He didn't want to at the time.
No, he didn't want to, but
no.
But he's something else, though, isn't he? When you watch him.
Yeah. I mean,
2003, according to Wikipedia. So he's 21 this year. So it's his last season at under 21.
Which is a shame, but not because obviously people like Fast Freddy ain't getting no younger.
No, arguably he's Sweden's next best talent.
This is what I'm saying, you know, Fast Freddy ain't getting no younger, so eventually he's going to have to hang up his helmet and his race jacket for the national team, isn't he?
True.
Yeah, because who else they got? There's not many Swedish riders. I know now they've obviously is still Lindback still going and
no, Lindback retired.
I think he's still riding at like club level.
Yeah.
But he's retired from international, which is a shame because I used to love watching him ride.
Yeah, me too. I remember AJ as well, Andreas Jonsson. I used to quite like him as well, and PK. But they've still got Thorsell, Oliver Bertson, and Kim Nielsen, is it? And I don't know if Peter Young is still going. Do you remember him?
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm not sure, but
I
a lot of
don't-
them are like
Oh.
getting on a bit now. So
Probably the most blatantly obvious question ever in the world, and I should probably smack myself for asking it. The Pedersen that was riding in the SoN2 for Denmark, is that Nicky's son?
I was told it was his
nephew,
nephew.
Nephew, right, okay. Right, that's why I was like, I probably should smack myself, but not 100%.
He did.
Well,
He did
it's a
do all
common
right,
name,
didn't
isn't it, over there? So, you know.
Is it Bastian Pedersen or something like that?
It is, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, because I was impressed with him actually when I watched him
Yeah,
round
because
the
obviously I thought it was Nicky's son, so that's why I was asking.
end. Yeah, he's been there, and he's been him and Hans Andersen's been for the was it Hans Andersen managing for Denmark for the under-21s, and then Nicky Pedersen was doing the management for the main ones.
I believe Pedersen did both.
Because Hans Andersen
Like-
was there with him, wasn't he?
Yeah, Anderson was the main, and Pedersen was like his right hand man for the SoN2.
Oh right.
Because you
Hans
saw
Andersen
him.
is assistant Danish team manager now, isn't he? They both do it together.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You saw Pedersen a lot on the TV coverage of the SoN2.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah. But yeah, no, it was a good night, that. I enjoyed watching the Aussies ride.
Yeah.
GB, obviously, enjoyed watching them ride.
The question is, what on Saturday? Because we were puzzled about this. I don't know if he was injured. I don't know if you know anything about it. But on Saturday night, how come Frick wasn't riding for Australia?
Because
Mark Lemon
Lemo
knew
went
that.
for Brady Kurtz because of his track knowledge.
Yeah. Kurtz can ride the track better than Frick in recent seasons. That's why.
Oh,
Frick's
well, Brady Kurtz has
last-
been brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, this season and last season, Fricks was at Leicester. And in 22, was it when Belle Vue won it?
Yeah. No,
Max
he joined
Frick.
Leicester last season. It's his second season at Leicester because he was part of the 22 winning title team because Robert Lambert came in to replace him when Frick got injured.
Yeah. I say, but Frick got injured 4 or 5 rides before the end of the season, didn't he?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because we went R 2 rides before Lambert was allowed to join us. So it's been basically 2 seasons since Frick rode the NSS week in, week out. Holder rides it. Well, he's full-time GP, isn't he? I know Frick is now as a injury replacement, but he went for his 2 best riders on that track.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see. I mean, Kurtz for you, he's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he, for you guys this year?
We missed him them few meetings that he was out, definitely. But these things happen, sadly.
It's Speedway, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still looking. I don't know whether am I allowed to bring this up for the SON. I'm still looking. I've been looking recently, earlier, if Woofenden's put his thing up that he was announcing about last night.
He's throwing an after party for Cardiff. That was literally it.
Oh, is that what it was?
Had the whole Speedway
fun.
thinking he was going to bloody retire the sod. And then he does that.
It'll be Woofy doing a DJ set or something, won't it?
Yeah.
He does a lot of DJing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, should we talk about the first semi-final?
Yeah, shall we?
That was the Tuesday night, wasn't it? With
It was
Germany and Poland.
France, Poland, Italy, Ukraine, Germany, Sweden, Finland.
Yes. I felt sorry for the Ukrainian team.
Oh, me too.
That one heat where one got kicked out and then the other Was it injured?
Yeah,
Oh, was that
they
the one
crashed
with
into each other, didn't they? That's what happened there.
one of
And
them
then
had
one of
one
them
with,
got injured, yeah.
one of them had it with Thorcell, didn't they? In the same one of Thorcell, weren't they? And when they came round by the starting gate, by the tapes.
Yeah,
So I saw it. Jakub Thorcell put it on his story, and I looked to see yes, one of the Ukraine riders as well.
and then they had a second crash. One went into the wooden fence on the home straight, and then the other went into the biking came off. That looked nasty, that did.
Mm.
Oh yes, yes. When you watch if you watch it back on the app that I shall not name, if you don't if you turn the linguistic thing off and listen to it, it's absolutely horrific, the sound, because you fully hear the smash through the microphones in the stadium.
Gonna have to go back and listen to that now, see
Let's
if I
have a
can
look
pick
at
it
that.
up.
Listen to that, actually.
You can actually hear it in the background as Cal's talking. You hear
Yeah.
the whack. But if you turn off the
Commentary.
commentary effectively and listen to it, it's horrific. Because I had my big noise cancelling headphones on listening to it, and I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I can imagine.
I will say one thing about the semi-finals for the Speedway of Nations. That last race off to see who qualifies for the final is stupid, because you have like Germany and Finland in the first one, where Germany finished 10 points above Finland in the actual rankings, but then if something bad had happened, they could have been knocked out. I don't see the point in that. I know it's meant to add tension and stuff, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. That's the same as the playoffs, though, isn't it, at the end of the day?
True.
It's absolute crap, in my opinion, because, like, last season, Belle Vue led the league all the way through and then didn't get past the semis in the playoffs. The year before, Sheffield led for the entirety of the season and didn't win the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I know they get an award for winning the league.
They should
But
do.
it's not the point, is it?
No.
It's not the point, you know. You've rode absolutely phenomenal over
6 months.
12 meetings, 24 meetings.
Something like that, yeah.
How many times they ride each other in the league? It's
Twice
home and away.
Twice away, yeah.
So that's 24 meetings.
Yeah.
Not including the knockout cup and whatever else. So you've ridden your socks off, finished top of the league, and then you can finish fourth effectively because of the playoffs.
Should be a trophy for whoever finishes top. They're league champions, and then the playoffs should be a separate competition.
Basically,
the league should mean something. You finish top, you should get something for finishing top. Yeah. We'll keep going. Poland, dominant in their semi, only beaten by Sweden by a point, looking at the race card, but terrible in the final. I think Zmarzlik's crash had a big impact on that. I think he's injured.
Because he cracked it. He wasn't that good anyway in the final, was he, when we saw him? I mean, I think he cracked. Did you say cracked a rib? There was a rumour.
There was a rumour that he cracked some ribs, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I heard the rumour mill. I'm not sure how true that is. But, yeah, you know, because he's a very secretive... he doesn't speak out much and stuff, does he?
Which is fair enough. You know, he's entitled to be how he wants.
He just needs to learn to be a bit better with the fans.
Yeah.
You're supposed to talk to the fans at signing sessions. That's the whole point.
I saw a video on one of the Facebook groups, and he's just sat there talking to Cabrera, signing his thing, and then talking again.
Yeah. He's just...
It's like that. Awful.
Yeah. I when I was at the signing session, I said, I bypassed nothing. Although, yeah.
He was like that with me when I had autographs. I'll tell you who did chat to me though, Dudek.
He's all right, he is.
Patrick Dudek actually chatted to me, and Cabrera did, to be fair. He did give me eye contact, but Smarsik, I could just, when I walked over, I could hear him speaking in their language, and yeah, he didn't really. He looked at me for a minute, and then he looked at Cabrera again. He just didn't speak whatsoever. He just completely blanked us. Well, blanked me, and he doesn't interact with the fans, does he?
No.
Did they replace Inoski in the final?
Yes, it was Dudek that came in.
Yeah.
And then
So
didn't
I
get
didn't
a
even
ride.
notice that.
No.
Didn't even notice.
But he didn't get a
until you
ride in the final, so he just sat there.
Right. But it was the fact that you just mentioned that Dudek. I was like, what? But it was Inoski as Poland's number 3.
Yeah, they swapped them round.
Well, I suppose because they have got a 5-man team, haven't they, that they can pick 3 from.
Apparently Dudek flew in early the Saturday morning, and there was no reason for him to, because he didn't get a ride anyway.
Yeah, but it was like Tom, wasn't it?
Mm.
He said that he felt a bit like a mascot, but he'd rather be a mascot whilst the boys are doing well than be needed.
And he's still technically a double world champ as well. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
mad.
because he was part of the 21 squad, wasn't he?
Mm.
He was the 3rd man then. It was the same 3
Yeah.
at the end, obviously.
And he didn't get a ride in the final either, did he, Brennan?
No.
Yeah.
But it's a frick with Australia. He didn't get to turn a wheel. But if your top 2 are going good,
Yeah.
why fix what ain't broke?
He said in his interview on Discovery, didn't he, that I don't mind that I'm not doing anything because it means that the other 2 are going really well, and I'd rather Yeah.
Basically, why fix what ain't broke?
Yeah.
This is like Bernson, wasn't it, for Sweden? He didn't come out for a ride either. It was just Lindgren and Thorsell for them. But for Denmark, Rasmus Jensen came out for a few, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Arguably, he was Denmark's most consistent.
Because in Heat 1, obviously it was because it was Mikkelsen. No, Thompson, Anders Thompson and Jensen in Heat 1, wasn't it? Because I thought Mikkelsen would be with Thompson in Heat 1, but they put Jensen in with Thompson.
Not for the semi, they didn't.
Not for the semi,
We're talking about the semi.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest shock for me throughout the whole SON this time round was Germany.
Yeah, they were good.
I know Hülkenberg's a good rider. Obviously, he's GP. And we all know what Norrick can do on his day.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I did not expect them to be as good as what they were.
They shocked a fair few on the Saturday.
Definitely.
Oh, definitely. They shocked a fair few on the Tuesday.
Yeah. So in their semi, they got 4 points in their first race, 7 in the second, 7 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 6 in their fifth, and then 6 in the sixth. They finished on 33 points in their semi-final.
There you go.
They even finished above Poland in the final.
Yeah, because weren't they 4th?
Yeah, and Poland were 5th.
Yeah, that says it all, doesn't it? You know.
Mm. Poland seem to be struggling in this competition. They can't seem to win it. And to be honest, I think that delights every other nation because it gives them a chance of winning. Although GB is starting to become dominant in this format now.
But it's because it's a pairs competition, and
Mm.
GB ride really good as pairs.
It's like was it Bewley said in an interview? Was it the day after on the Sunday? He was on about track telepathy, and they just know where each other they are on that track. They just know how to ride that track together.
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? How even though Lambert doesn't ride in Britain that often, but you stick him on that track with Bewley, and they'll know one go high, one go low, and they'll know exactly where each other is, and
they'll know where to close the gaps as well, so nobody can get past them.
yeah. But I think that's the big issue, is that it's a team game. It's not individual.
Yeah, Smarzik needs to learn that. But yeah, we'll leave that. But yeah, Italy, honestly, didn't surprise me. Nico Cavati surprised me, but Paco didn't, because I know what he's capable of when he's doing well. So
That's it, isn't it? You know, he got a few guest rides at Belle Vue last year, and he's ridden there many a time in the past. So it's kind of a given that he was going to go good around that track.
I thought he'd get a shot in the Premiership at some point. I mean, Birmingham have been looking for a replacement for Worrell. They've signed Michael Palm Toff today.
Yeah.
But I thought Paco would get a call up.
You never know. He might still.
Because he is still a Birmingham asset, so
he is.
You never know, but he impressed me. I was quite happy with them.
Mr. Lemon needs to find some new riders, doesn't he?
Yeah.
With what happened to Pete and with poor Connor Bailey calling it a day on this season.
Because you signed Tate. Was it Tate? How do you pronounce his last name? Ziski. And then when he came out for Belle Vue, he got injured at Belle Vue, doesn't he now? And then he's doing okay now.
Well, he was there at the week during the week at the SoN.
Yeah,
he was there for the under-21s, wasn't he, on Friday?
Yes, because he was meant to ride in it, wasn't he? But he just turned up as a spectator, cheerleader type thing.
Yeah.
I do like him.
But yeah. So we've got to replace him, as I say, and Connor. So obviously Connor can only be replaced by another rising star.
Yeah. That's a very short list to pick from as well.
Well, yeah, because obviously there's 6 other teams that have got one already.
Yeah.
Trying to think who you could have.
Talk about semi-final 2. Who won it? Denmark. Denmark won the semi in quite spectacular fashion, finishing on 40 points. Australia second on 34. Yeah. Can we just talk about the Czechs and that problem with Kvek in the race-off?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't need to go. He didn't need to try and go for first. He was him and Milik were already in the final if they just kept on where they were. But I don't think he knew that.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with someone in the fan zone about this on the Saturday, and they said we were saying how stupid it was of Quebec to do that. You know, because as you was just saying there, because I mean, we was just saying, I bet Milik was livid about, not saying, thinking, what on earth are you doing? You were all right where you were.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because that was a bit from Quebec, wasn't it? Really.
But maybe it's one of them, like how GB won it in 21 with first and third. maybe he wanted to
Yeah.
secure the extra points.
Maybe.
Because I know, obviously, second and third would have given you the greater aggregate. I get that, but
Points didn't mean anything in that race anyway. All they had to do was get a heat advantage, which is why it was weird to me.
that's what I mean. Maybe he was trying to like ensure the advantage, though.
Yeah,
Because he's still a young lad as well, isn't he, Yankovic?
I think he's 22.
Yeah, because Vakel Milik's been around for a while, isn't he?
Yeah, but you give that man a check race jacket and he goes into overdrive. It's like I was sat there watching and I was like, why couldn't he do that for Birmingham round Belle Vue? I was thinking, you bag of shit.
I was going to say, Millica Brum.
Huh?
That's what I was going to say. Wasn't Millica Brum, and you've just
Yeah.
dropped him. Yeah.
He used to ride for Kings Inn and Pool as well, but I think I heard he weren't good for them neither. But he says I heard he didn't do too bad in the SoN, did he?
But then again, going back to Team GB, you could say the same about Lambert, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Put a GB race jacket on him, and look how he did.
Yeah. Although he's been Mr.
Rode as an
Consistent
individual.
so far, hasn't he?
But
In
he
the Grand
rode as an
Prix as
individual.
well.
Yeah, as an individual in the British final at Belle Vue, and he was a bit poor.
That was down to his equipment, I think, because I think he said he was using bikes that he'd had stored over here that were a few years old that he hadn't used for a while. He was like knocking the dust off them and shit. So that might have been the case. But for the SoN, he bought his GP bikes over.
Yeah, which you would, wouldn't you? It's like you guarantee that Bewley's bikes. Although with Bewley, I think they might have been his Belle Vue machines.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You know, because why wouldn't you use a bike that you use on that track week in, week out?
That would make sense.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Should we talk about the controversy that was SoN2 and how one silly mistake cost the Swedes the title because the ref handed the Poles the race?
What, you mean that same incident where a certain young man walked out of the box and went, "You effing..."
Yep.
And then walked over to the Poles and said, "You need to turn left, not right."
Yeah.
And caused a riot in the pits, pretty much.
We're looking at you, Philip Hellstrom Bangs.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah. If you turn the main linguistic content off as he walks out of that room, you actually hear him scream.
I remember that because me and my dad were sat at the kitchen table watching it on my laptop, and my dad went, "What did he just say?"
So you put it back a few seconds, turn all the talking off, and oh, he said that.
We were watching it without commentary anyway.
Oh, I heard he was using some language in the pits, wasn't he?
I'm surprised you didn't hear him.
Also, I tried to. Yeah, because it was because we actually watched it on the screen when we was there, but I think that was the race where Henrik, is it what's his name, Casper Henriksson or something?
Yeah.
He did it on his own there, but we were all saying that Hellstrom Banks didn't even touch that other. Did he?
There was contact, but he got past him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was minimal contact.
It was minimal contact, but he wasn't a full bike length in front, so he didn't command the lead as such, because it was like half of his back wheel because I believe it was his dirt deflector that caught the guy's leg.
Yeah, it was a pretty shit move by the ref, but
Definitely
racing
proper
and it.
shit house call from the ref.
Yeah,
But Speedway's an odd sport, isn't it? It's the only sport you could be the person behind and get the decision go in your favour.
yeah, true.
You know, it's mind-boggling how that works. The guy in front is on the racing line. I've tried to take the line. He's taken me out, but it's his fault.
Mm,
Not me trying to take the line off him.
no, I know. No, talking about SoN2, how good were the Brits with Dan Thompson and Flint?
Oh, no.
It
Was
was
it
such a
Thompson that
shame
got
that
injured?
Dan got injured.
Yes. I was just going to ask what happened.
He dislocated his shoulder.
Is that what it was in the end? Was it?
Yeah.
Because I've not heard anything since, or I've not seen anything myself.
Yeah, he dislocated his shoulder.
Flipping heck. It was a heavy crash as well, though, to be fair.
Can you imagine if they'd kept on? Because the first two races they got 7.2s, and then the third one before Dan went, they were on a 7.2. You know, can you
I could have
imagine?
seen them taking it to the polls there.
Mm. It would have been an interesting race between Sweden, Poland, and GB had Dan not got injured, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Flint did well as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Leon Flint, yeah. And Sam Hagen didn't do too bad.
He just lacks a bit of experience at
That's
the
it. But when
moment.
you thrust into that position, it's not
True.
like riding for the Colts or the Comets or the Brummies or whatever, is it? It's completely different once you put the national
Yeah.
colours on.
Hang on.
But, you know, they're really
He's
young.
still got one more year at under 21 level, or two, because he was born in October 2004.
Yeah. This is it, you know. They're only kids at the end of the day, aren't they? So
Yeah, but he's got another couple of opportunities to go well with it. So
Is this
yeah.
who's this? Dan Thompson or Sam
no, Sam Hagen,
Sam Hagen.
which I was hoping they'd go and get at least a medal, if I'm being honest, because with it being Leon's last season at under 21 as well, and the Thompson twins last season at under 21. But
See, the sad thing is, had he not got injured, I think they would have.
they would have come very close. Yeah, I reckon it would have
Yeah,
come down
definitely.
to a race off.
I think my predictions for the main SoN of Australia, Poland, and GB would have been SoN2.
Yeah,
Obviously, not necessarily in that order, but you know, them three nations would have been the top three.
yeah. Before we
I
talk
can't believe
about the
Olly
no, he was good.
he rode
Jamie didn't have
3
any
out of
backup.
the 4 nights.
Yeah. Shame he didn't have much backup from his teammates. His team Norwich got 25 points out of their 29, and the other two got 4 between them.
Yeah. But again, that just goes to show his track knowledge, doesn't it? And his ability on that track.
Yeah.
And the fact that he'd had an extra day's riding on that track compared to what the other lads had.
True. There is that.
Because he got the Tuesday night, didn't he?
Yeah. True.
You know, so. And as he said in the interview that he did, I can't remember which night it was on, but there's been many a time when he's rode wet and muddy races in Manchester.
Yeah. So he knows how to do it.
This is it, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
and it's all well and good passing on advice and information and everything, but it's not always going to work for every other person because their engine might be slightly different or whatever.
Yeah, true. So before we talk about the final, did anybody have any predictions to how the final would go?
Well, as I said, I expected it to be GB, Poland, and Australia top three. I got 2 out of the 3 right, I guess.
I didn't make predictions because every time I make predictions, the team that I predict to win doesn't win, so I didn't.
Yeah. Because what was it? The semi-final, the first one, I predicted the 3 teams that went through. I think the second one, I predicted it right as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the final, I was 1 team out because Poland ended up finishing 5th.
I don't know what got into Poland because last time they rode Manchester, I know it was wet and in October in 21 and that, but I still don't know what happened.
They finished second, didn't they, that year?
Maybe it was the difference between it being because it was an afternoon meeting in 21. It started at 4, and then it was an evening meeting this year. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Oh, yeah, I suppose, because we're in summer now.
Yeah, despite the fact that it was colder on that East stand on Saturday than it was in October 21 when they held it there the previous time. In October 21, I was in a hoodie and t-shirt. By the end of the night on Saturday, I was wearing 3 layers. So, I know that East stand was very sparsely populated and shit, but it doesn't matter. It's July. I should be wearing shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Not 2 fucking tops and not a hoodie, this and a t-shirt, like, come on.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that statement.
Me too.
It's Britain.
Mm.
And more to the point, it's Manchester.
So, summer skips us. We don't get summer anymore. Summer skips us.
It's been nice today, and apparently it's going to be,
It's going to be all right tomorrow, and then it's going to be warm Friday, and then it's going to be okay Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, the next 4 days when I'm in work, apparently it's going to be lovely.
Sod's law, that, innit, when you're in work, and it's really nice out.
Yeah, the 4 days that I've had off, it's been a bit miserable. Oh, well.
Oh, well. It's always next year, as we say, but next year will probably be just as bad. Ha ha ha. Who predicted Latvia to do as well as they did in the final?
I was like,
I know.
Who?
Where did they
Lebanese rode us, didn't they?
They finished 6th. Can't remember. No, they finished 7th, but they did better than I thought they would. They took points off people where I didn't think they would.
I mean, Lebedev's in that one heat with Hülkenberg. Did you see that?
Just trying to find the race where they were together.
That was brilliant, that was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw it, Nick, with Lebedevs and Hülkenberg in that one heat.
Possibly not, because I've not watched the final back yet, because I was working on the Saturday night.
Oh, right.
As I walked through the door, I could hear the gate pick music being played over the PA system. And Ruth was like, "We're in the final, Nick." So I just put Discovery Plus on and I put it on live. Just so that
he was meant to come and join us, but shit happens, doesn't it?
Do you know what the worst bit is? I was meant to have Woofy's number as my seat. 108.
108.
Well, we ended up moving because Pauline and that was sat in the East Stand as well. So we ended up moving to sit by them because there was nobody in there.
Yeah.
They could have easily fitted. It was about quarter full, that East Stand. I reckon they could have easily fitted the people that were in that stand in the grandstand and in the South Stand. Easy.
Yeah, he could have probably moved them into the South and Grand.
I like that South Stand, but I never go around there very often.
Well, it's all changed now, though. Got rid of the burger van.
Yeah.
Got rid of the bar. And
Well,
there's a container there now that's got the track shop, bar, and cooking facilities in it. And they sell the same food and stuff as in the start line bar, is it?
oh, okay.
You know, when you walk into the concourse and you turn right,
Yeah.
the one that's there,
Yeah.
they now operate the catering on the South Stand.
I don't know. I've only ever eaten there once. That was to have a Bowen's pie, but 9 times out of 10, whenever I go to Manchester, it's Joe's food truck down the way. It's nothing else.
Oh yeah, for sure. But if you get from the start line bar, it's now the same food on South Stand. So it's Bowen's pies, it's skin on fries, and all that.
I need to have one of Bowen's pies.
I need to have one too. Oh wait, guess what? I'm working Monday.
Meat and tater.
Yeah.
Balti.
Which is the favourite flavour of Bowen's pie?
It's got to be the
Meat and
Balti.
tater.
Yeah.
Although that's the northerner in me. I can't beat a good meat and tater pie with some gravy on it.
Poor Bowen, yeah.
No, you're right there. But out of the pies that I've had, it's got to be the Balti one. Because who puts a curry in a pie, really?
It is a bold move, to be fair.
I've had Balti pasties, I've had tikka pasties, but I've never had a curry pie until I started working at Belle Vue.
Might have to try that one. I'm not a massive fan of spice, though.
It's not spicy. It's flavour.
No. Ooh. Might have
Yeah,
to try
I
that
promise
then.
it. Well, it all depends on your tolerance, but to me, it's not spicy, it's flavoured.
It depends on the day. It depends if I'm having a good day with the stomach, and yeah, I won't go into that, but yeah.
Yeah, standard.
But yeah. Team Sweden, team consistent in the Speedway of Nations 2022. They got a bronze and they replicated that again this year. They done well to do that. I don't know where they finished in the World Cup last year.
Oh,
Double check.
not a clue off the top of my head.
Australia finished. Denmark took bronze at the World Cup last year. Australia finished 4th. So, okay. They must have finished 5th then. But
Yeah, 5th or below.
It would be nice to see GB win a World Cup as well.
Oh, definitely.
Saying that though, Fast Freddy was struggling last year, wasn't he? Still with the long COVID.
Yeah.
He was.
Well, wasn't he? Where did he finish in the world last year?
2nd.
He was 2nd, wasn't he?
No, last year was when he kind of started snapping out of it, wasn't it? In fact, thinking about it. It was the season
It was
before.
2021. Yeah.
21 and 22 that he was really struggling with long COVID. And halfway through 23, he kind of broke out of it and started getting the results.
Because he was meant to ride in the first SON final at Manchester, but he didn't because he was struggling, didn't he? So he pulled out.
Yes.
Was it 21?
Yeah.
That was
Oh, yeah, that's when
21 and
they bought in. Was it Pontus Aspergen or Jakob Thorsell? It was one of the two.
It was, yeah.
I
Must
think
have been
it was
Aspergen, but
Aspergen, yeah. Of course, he's retired now.
I must admit, I need to get this out because it's confused me. The president of the FIM gave Olly Allen the medal on the podium, and then somehow Simon Stead ended up with it. And then you look at the photos, and Olly Allen looks a bit shell shocked.
yeah, I think
So I'm
Steady Jackson.
thinking, is something going on there between them two?
Well, yeah, it's Sheffield
That's
manager,
not
isn't it?
public knowledge. No, I know
Sheffield
that,
manager.
but they're meant to be a team. But you know,
Yeah,
something going on there that's not public knowledge.
yeah. Yeah, no, I thought that was a bit odd that Jorge gave the medal to him and then he had it.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
I also found it odd how they only had 4 medals each.
Well, every team's got 3 riders and a team manager, don't they? We just have to be special and we have to have 2 team managers.
No, I understand that, but you know, like in the instance of 21 where, Woofy got seriously injured and we changed the lineup, he still got a gold medal, didn't he?
Yeah, because they just ordered more.
Oh, was that what it is? They got his at a later date for him.
Yeah.
Right.
The 2 team managers will get one. It's just they have to get extras.
They have to duke it out on the night as to who gets it. And then who gets it is in the post a week later.
There was a second trophy as well in 21, but there was only the SON one this time round. Do you remember that fuck off massive thing that was made out of an old engine? That was made by Monster?
No.
There was 3 at the 2021 song because it was the last one sponsored by Monster because apparently they've pulled out this year, and they made this guy made 3 trophies out of an old Speedway engine, and I was surprised there was nothing like that this year. So I hope they get
at the lack of Monster this year, to be truthful.
Apparently considering how many out.
Right, but considering how many Monster Energy athletes there were.
I know. Apparently they've just pulled out altogether. They're not partners or anything anymore.
Other than the GP?
No, I don't think they're even... Oh, wait, no. They're GP partners, but I don't think... I think they just pulled out of the Sun because they didn't want it at Manchester again or something.
Right.
Which to me makes no sense because you look at Manchester and it's arguably one of the best speedway tracks in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, I mean, where else could you think that would have been able to host the SoN that last week with the weather that we had?
Yeah.
And still run it. Admittedly, it was rushed most nights, but they got heat 1 through 50 or whatever it was each night. Nobody died.
No.
Nobody got seriously hurt. Yes, there was a few minor injuries like dislocations and cracked ribs and bruised bums or whatever, but there was no broken femurs or spines or anything, was there?
That's very true.
You know, and the weather threw everything possible at us. And they still managed to hold all 4 nights.
on the right night
Tell
as
me another
well.
track. Yeah, tell me another track that could do that.
I couldn't think of any off the top of my head, to be fair.
You know, and it's all down to the minute details, like the fact that the whole track's got a slight banking towards the centre.
Yeah, helps for drainage.
Exactly that. Even if it's 2 or 3 degrees, it's still, rather than being that, it's that,
Yeah.
which is all downhill towards the centre.
You know which track does have proper mad banking? Glasgow.
One.
Oh, Glasgow, yeah.
That's like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Although saying that, when you get into the between bends 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 at Belle Vue, you can see the difference. It does ramp up. And same at Workington as well, because they basically copied Belle Vue and dropped it up there, didn't they?
But
To a point.
there's a line at Glasgow that the fans call the Ben Basso line, because he'd just go up and then back down, and he'd bring up so much speed he'd end up, like, if he was last, he would end up first. He was like, huh? Hang on, what happened there?
There was a few that did that at the SON this weekend, actually, that proper shocked me from 4th to 1st. And I was like, are you allowed to do that?
Yeah, it's a proper good racetrack, that's why.
I can't think who did it off the top of my head. I think Bewley went from 4th to 1st in one heat. And there was a couple of others that did it, and I was just like, is that even legal?
No, I know. Excuse me, like,
Yeah.
what you doing?
You know, like, beep, beep, coming through.
Yeah. I'd say it was definitely a successful week. I just hope that Belle Vue got a decent amount of money back on their investment.
Yeah, I hope it was financially feasible for Belle Vue, personally, because, you know, there is talks of potentials for GPs and stuff.
True.
And if that's worked out well for the SoN, then I can't foresee there being any reason why it wouldn't be possible to hold a GP.
No, true. Either that or we could see the World Cup here in 26.
Well, yeah, 16, 21, 24, 26. I'll take that.
Because it'd be interesting to see how... I've not been to a World Cup meeting at Belle Vue. I've only seen some meetings at Belle Vue, but it'd be interesting to see how a World Cup meeting would go there.
My first ever meeting was the World Cup finals in 2016 at Belle Vue.
Yeah. Buffy scored the majority of GB's points and we got silver.
Yes, I think the Poles won it.
Yeah. When don't they win the World Cup, honestly?
Yeah. And that's where I saw Antonio Limback for the first time. Woofy, Craig Cook. I've not a clue who the Poles were at the time. I'm not even going to try and lie to you.
I wouldn't know either.
I think Bellego was riding for France at the time.
Yeah. I'll find something. There's been on a roll in the programme from last week.
It was Denmark there too.
Quite possibly.
Potentially, mate. Obviously, I've
There it is.
slept in.
So 2016 silver. That was the first medal we'd earned at a World Championship event since 2006.
Yes.
So that was the first medal in 10 years, and it was better than the previous one, because in 2006 they got bronze.
Oh.
And then we got a medal again in 04 because it was hosted at Poole, and then 07 was at Reading. Another track that's not there, that's now a bloody overflow car park for the football. But yeah, and then we got silver in 16. And then the record so far in the SoN has been all right. 19 and 20 were a bit. But
don't GB tend to win a medal every time at the SoN?
We did in 18 because we should have won it in 18, but we lost in the final to Russia. 19.
Right. Yeah. But who was riding for Russia? Was it Luguta or Sayfudinov?
Yeah. That's when they won it 3 times on the bounce in 18, 19 and 20.
Yeah, with them 2 riding, that says it all, doesn't
it? Yeah, we got silver in 18, 19, 20. I can't remember where we finished, but it wasn't in the top 3. 21, they then won.
Yeah.
22 was silver. 23 was silver in the World Cup, and then we got gold again. So for the last 4 seasons, we've been in the top 2 in the world. I think that's a pretty good achievement.
It is, considering every time something goes wrong for GB.
Yeah, Wolfenden always finds a way to get himself injured.
Yeah.
I didn't want to throw names out there, but yeah, okay. 4 years on the bounce, Wolfie's got broken somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it be Ben Street at Belle Vue, on his mountain bike somewhere in
Denmark.
What happened last year?
No, he rode in the World Cup last year. He was fit last year. It just seems to be the SoN.
He doesn't like the SoN, does he? He just wants the World Cup.
The one SoN I think he rode in fully was 18, maybe 19.
Right.
I'd have to look. I'd have to go and look, but yeah. I still think they should run them both in the same year. It would make things more interesting.
Or do like football do, where you've got the Euros, like 24 the Euros, and in 26 will be the World Cup.
But there is European Speedway competitions. There's the European best pairs and things. I'm pretty sure there's a team championship as well.
I understand that, but like make the nations like the Euros in football, and the World Cup like the World Cup. And then obviously you can have your other competitions as well on alternate years.
Maybe.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Because obviously football competitions happen all year round, every year anyway, don't they? And then you've got the main ones every 2 years, basically. Or they're every 4 years, but one's 2 years, one's 2 years, 2 years.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
And you can still do like your golden helmets and your silver helmets and your European pairs and this, that, and the other, but like make the SoN and the World Cup actual big events so that they're not every year and they're not, it's just the SoN or it's just the World Cup.
Yeah, true. Maybe the European events need a bit better advertising because they tend to be poorly attended.
Most definitely.
Maybe taken under the wing of Warner Brothers Discovery. Maybe, who knows?
Well, you can't really say that because the SoN was piss poor advertised.
Yes and no, depends where you look. If you look in Speedway circles, it was well advertised, but if you look outside Speedway circles, then no, because on the Saturday when we were up there, it was a hive of activity outside the track. So people were walking up and down, going to Joe's, going to the collector's fair, and then going to the fan zone. But there was people walking up and down that were coming from the leisure centre and the basketball centre, and they were asking, "Oh, what's on today?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Speedway of Nations final." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, it could be better advertised outside of Speedway circles.
I have a friend who's part of a motorcycle group for Manchester, Stockport, and a lot of areas around here that has over 10,000 members,
Mm,
and they didn't know about it.
that's not good.
No,
Huh?
No.
that's what I mean. It was piss poor advertised. There's nothing on Discovery Plus about it,
No, because if
because I've
you,
been a subscriber for
yeah,
since it started, because I like watching all the programs on there. Nothing on there whatsoever about it.
yeah, because you could have easily like put posters up and stuff in Manchester, and then you would have had more interest, and then you might have filled the East Stand a bit more.
Billboards on buses.
Yeah.
Look how well it
Well,
worked for you guys.
yeah, it didn't work very well at Birmingham, but we'll skip past that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? How many
Yeah.
buses there are in and around Manchester?
Yeah.
It would have still got it out there a little bit, wouldn't it?
And the ones that go past the track, the 201, the 202, and the 203, is it?
Yes.
Off the top of my head. Yeah. On there, because they're going right past the track.
Well, they go through Belle Vue, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. Just an advert on the back of the bus. Oh, yeah. We're hosting the SoN final next week. Just saying, like.
Yeah.
Because if
Or
there'd
even
have been
some
more
of the billboards
advertising.
in the city centre.
Yeah. Because if there'd have been more advertising in and around the city centre, there would have been more of a uptake, and that East Stand would have been fuller. Because I reckon you could have fit us all in one of the smaller sections.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. Feels like it was a bit of a waste of money, but
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
you live and you learn. Maybe they need to just get a little
That's
bit of a
it.
smaller one next time.
Yeah.
It's not that, it's the advertising side of it.
Mm.
Because, what was it, Pauline said she'd messaged BBC, I think it was,
Yeah. And they didn't know.
regarding it. And they said, had they have messaged her the week before, they could have done a whole publicity thing for it, because they were none the wiser.
Yeah. It's the same with a lot of national press. Team GB have got a partnership with the newspaper. Is it the Daily Star? I looked the other day. There's nothing on there about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
think
they're a
that big
Team
logo on their
GB
art,
partner, and there's nothing on there about the fact that they've won the SON again.
or even the fact that they were going to be riding in it.
Exactly. It's ridiculous, but yeah.
Yeah.
The next big event is the British Grand Prix now, isn't it, at Cardiff? All the riders are going to be sick of Britain in a bit. Yeah. Oh, I've got to go to Britain again. Got to go to Cardiff this time. The weather looks a bit better for Cardiff, though. Looking at the long range forecast.
Shut the roof.
Yeah, it gets hot in there.
Yeah, it does.
I understand that. Understand that, but still, shut the roof, and then it can be perfect for racing.
It gets louder as well when they shut the roof.
Oh, it does. That's what I love about it.
I'm taking a mate to. I'm taking a mate to the Cardiff Grand Prix for the first time. She's not going to know what hit her because it's arguably one of the best events, if not the best event on the calendar.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
She's not going to know what hit her, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
We'll have to see what happens next year for me.
Yeah. I wasn't originally going, but then a certain somebody got the wild card, so I've got to go now, ain't I?
Yeah.
But
yeah, we'll have to see next year if Cardiff still exists on the GP calendar or not.
yeah, I've heard a few rumours about that, but we won't get into that because we're not a rumour mongering podcast, so we won't get into that.
Well, no, yeah. So yeah, that's what I mean, though. But we'll have to see.
But yeah, congrats to Team GB on their second title in 3 years.
Diddly dee.
It was a very good week of Speedway, even though I sat and watched most of it at home because I was at work. If I'd had the week off, I would have been there. But anyway, it was a good shout for Team GB, and let's see if they can do it away from the UK next season because they've won both
Absolutely.
titles here. So
Yeah,
it'd be nice to see them win it away from home.
definitely.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
But yeah, we'll wrap up there because we've been talking for over an hour, so we'll wrap up there. Cheers everybody for listening. That was episode 9 of season 2. I had a bit of a chat about here, there and everything, and including the Speedway of Nations. Congrats again to Team GB, cracking achievement, and we'll catch you all on the next episode.
You have been listening to episode 9 of Drop the Clutch Season 2, presented by Ruth Hannah, Samuel Payne and Nick Bradley Sutton. Recorded on the 17th of July 2024 and edited by Frankie Sparks. This was a Drop the Clutch production.